My name is Stephen Smitley. I served 4 years in the United States Marine Corps. I did a tour in Afghanistan back in March 2008 to October 2008. But this is not about my life in the Marine Corps or my tour. This is about why, my cause, and why I'm justifying why I support Ron Paul and why I endorse and why I will continue to donate to his cause to run for president. But before we go into that spiel why I support him, I want to talk a little bit about why people are voting for the wrong reasons. They're voting for many reasons why. So if you do not like this video, because I'm solely expressing my opinion, and if you are offended by how I express my opinion, you can turn this video off and live your life the way you want it. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to be a celebrity. I'm not here to even get a lot of views, and if this blows up, then granted. But I'm here to express to those that are undecided why they should do their research of who they should vote for. I'm not going to tell you who you should vote for, but I'm going to tell you the right reason why you should vote. And before you support your cause of who you're voting for them or who you're trying to vote for, you should do your little research about them before you go into it. I'm not a public speaker. Matter of fact, this is my very first video on YouTube. I've never tried this stuff before, so bear with me if I stutter a couple times, and that's about it. Anyways, we're going to go into it. For one, the reason why you should vote for a president is because it has ideas that you believe in. There's many reasons why you shouldn't vote for a president. For one, you shouldn't vote for a president because the way he looks, the way he acts, the way he speaks, the way he can present his dialogue, the way he can present his ideas to you. You need to vote for a president or vote for a delegate or vote for whatever because there's an idea behind it and you did your research why you're voting for that person. Now, I vote for Ron Paul because he's not crazy. I vote for Ron Paul because he's not radical. I vote for Ron Paul because he's not stupid or anything. I don't do that. I vote for him because he believes in the Constitution. The Constitution was upheld. We were upheld with it in the military. We had to swear an oath just to be in the military, to serve this country, to be willing to die and sacrifice our lives for you, for this country, for the right for you to vote. Since we have lost about more than 5,000 U.S. troops and soldiers and Marines, Army, veterans, whatever, out in the war, just so you can vote for somebody for the wrong reasons? I don't think that's the right cause. Our deaths basically were meaningless. But they're really not. Because for people like me, we died for the right reasons. We died for the Constitution. We died for this country. We died to protect our future children. See, for you to understand what a president means, everyone thinks that a president can't do anything. But a president can do a lot. Speak, for instance, Barack Obama when he came into office. I'm not voting for Barack Obama, but I was going to vote for him when I was in Afghanistan. You know why? I was just like you, voting for the wrong reasons. I was going to vote for him because he was different, because he was black, because he was a different guy, because he was a great political speaker, and he went to Harvard. He knew what he was doing. I thought that's why I was voting for him, but that was the wrong reasons. I'm basically saying you should vote for somebody for the right reasons. You shouldn't not vote for someone because they're old, because the media says they're crazy, because the media wants to blank out and don't even want to mention their name when they're the third person, not the fourth. But, Mitt-Romney first, Newt-gingrich second, and then Rick-santorum fourth. But they don't mention Ron Paul, though, because they don't want you to know the real person. Why is the media not mentioning Ron Paul anymore? They're trying to corrupt you. The media is controlled by the government. Money is handed out to the media, which is part of the government. They control the system. They control what you watch on TV. Well, instead of sitting down watching the news every day, once you go outside and observe the life as it is yourself, Don't just go off what Fox News says. Don't go off what CNN says. Don't just go off what any website says. Do your own research before you go off with this one answer. You can't go off of two websites. You got to do a little bit more in-depth ratio. You got to search for a reason why these things are being said. That's just like why you don't want to vote for Ron Paul, because the media blows it up as he's crazy. He is not crazy. You only see crazy parts because the media shows it. See, I'm going to show you something else. You're going to think I'm crazy because I'm speaking like that. You're going to think all Marines are crazy, but yet people don't want to view it like that. We don't view ourselves as crazy, but when we come back home, everyone's supposed to clap their hands, pat their hand on the back, or whoever, when we come through the airport, like, thank you. But you don't want to listen to us. When you want to hear what we want to say, but you just listen for, like, you look at your watch, man, hey, I got to go. I thank you for your time and service. Thank you for what you've done, but I got to go. But you don't want to hear us speak. Well, here we are speaking. I'm speaking for behalf of those that believe in my cause while I support Ron Paul. Like I said, I'm not a public speaker. I don't know how to speak perfectly like Barack Obama or those that went to Harvard, but I can at least try to get my point to people. You see, I support Ron Paul because he believes in the Constitution. The Constitution is what we all swore to in the military. But you know what's crazy? That the politicians even did it too. But they're not upholding the Constitution. Instead, they're letting the money corrupt them. Right here is where you need to believe. Up there, if you can't get through your day, you need to believe up there. You need to look up to the sky and say, God, help me go through this day. I know for a fact that I will endorse Ron Paul because he is going to change this country the way it needs to be, the way this country was found, the way it needs to be run. This country is going downhill every day. What are we going to do about it? Are we going to sit back, click our controls, and watch TV and say, I'm going to vote for that guy because he looks good? I'm going to vote for that guy because he's a great speaker. I'm not going to vote for that guy because he looks old and he looks crazy. But yet, of all the polls online, all the young crowds, all the military give their money to Ron Paul. He has quadrupled, made more money than every candidate and the president in 2012 right now. Started in 2011 also. So why do we support him? I basically want to say this. I support him because he is right. Because he supports the Constitution and he knows what he's saying. He knows how to speak the truth. He knows what he's talking about. He knew what was going to happen from 2001 to 2008. He knew that the country was going to crap slowly, but he knew when it was going to happen and how it was going to happen. Who do you find like that? Where do you find people like that? You can't find a politician or a senator to speak like that. They don't know the future. It's like he's in a time machine and he knows what's going to happen. But instead of saying he's a time machine, he knows what's going to happen in this country because he did his research. Just like you should do your research before you vote for a president. I want you all to at least think about why you're voting for someone before you go into the polls and just vote for someone. You should know the reason behind their cause and what they're speaking for and what they're running for. Because if they're not running to help you, then what are you voting for? Are you voting to give your life away? Are you voting to give more taxes out of your hard-earned income? Are you giving your tips away that's already been taxed from the person that gave it to you? Do you have the right to give your money away to the government for something you've worked so hard for? Basically, your income tax should be washed away, just like 1913, just like Ron Paul stated. Shit, excuse my language, I didn't even know that, and I didn't even do a lot of history research. But I'm starting to understand, and why I'm drawn into understanding the way this country was found. There is a new person every day that should understand that this Constitution is believed to be the way it is. If you don't understand what the Constitution means to you, then why are you even voting? Your vote should even be voted until you actually understand why this Constitution was made, why many lives were shed during the Civil War, during the movements. You should know before you vote. I vote for Ron Paul, like I said, because he's not crazy, because he's not a radical, because he doesn't go cuckoo when he talks. I vote for him because he is honest, because he's not easily persuaded by money. You can't give money to someone that doesn't even care about money. You can't persuade someone to do something for money when they don't, even if they have it, they don't care about it. They would be willing to give it away and live their life without money if they could. How can you corrupt somebody when someone's already been corrupted? Let's just say that Mitt-Romney, Newt-gingrich, Newt-gingrich cheated on his wife for what? The country. Why would you cheat on your wife for the country? You know what happens to Marines in the military when they cheat on their spouses and they get caught? They held their hands to the Constitution. You know what happens to us when we do something like that? We get dishonorably discharged. We get in trouble. But why don't they? Basically, do a little research before you vote.